In this video, we're going to talk about Pythagorean Theorem. So the key rule to remember here is, so you see I just drew that little box down in the triangle. So that means it's a right triangle. For a right triangle, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, so like in this one, this 6 is an a, this 8 is a b, and you can see C is the longer one, right? The longer one's called the hypotenuse, if you care to know that. Okay, so what we're going to do then is A is 6, right? So plug this guy in. 6 squared plus, we said B is 8. Equals C squared. Okay, then if we go 6 squared, 6 times 6, 36. 8 squared, 8 times 8, 64. Equals C squared. Okay, if we add up 36 and 64 together, we get a cool 100 equals C squared. Okay, and then to get rid of it, we need to get rid of that little squared thing. And so we're going to square root that guy. That means we got to do the same thing over here. Square root of 100 is 10, right? 10 times 10 is 100. And there's your answer. C equals 10. Okay. So we're going to do a couple of examples, right? Just so we can get you all nice and comfy with Pythagorean theorem. That's all it is. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And they'll give you two of the answers. It won't always be A and B, and we'll do an example here in a minute where it's not A and B, so you can get used to it. But okay, let's do a different one. Whoops, where's my pen? There we go. Okay, there's our little triangle. That's a right one. 8, 10, C. Okay, it's almost exactly the same thing that we just did. Right, a squared plus b squared still equals c squared, so we got 8 squared plus 10 squared equals c squared. Okay, 8 squared is 64 plus 10 squared is 100 equals c squared. Okay, and I like to have the variable on the left, but you don't have to do it that way. Okay, 64 plus 100 is 164. Okay, and then we square root it, right? So it's just the same thing we just did before. Okay, so then you square root it to get rid of that square. Okay, and you have C equals, all right, so could be, so they could give you a few different options here. It could be they just let you say it's the square root of 164. Okay, and there's your answer. So you might be done. It is also possible that, so 160, the square root of 164 doesn't equal an integer, so it doesn't equal a whole number, right? So it might be that they say C most nearly equals or approximately equals 12 or 13 or 14, then you have to pick the right answer. Okay, so if you look at that and you're not sure which one it is you just kind of go back into thinking, okay, so what is 12 squared? 12 times 12, so we'd like to know that. 12 times 12 is 144. Okay. And if you don't know that in your head, then just do the multiplication on a piece of paper. 13 squared, 13 times 13 is 169. Okay, so we know that like C probably equals like 12.9 or something like that, yeah. Right, like very close to 13, since 169 would be exactly 13. Okay, so if it's asking you for like most nearly, then that answer is going to be 13. Okay, so it's either going to be most 13 or rounded up to 13, or the square root of 164. Either of those would get you where you're trying to go. All right, so one more. A little more to erase on that one. Hopefully this is just making perfect sense. Okay, so for the last one, again, there's our triangle. Want to make sure it's right. So on this one, we'll give you, this is 9, B is unknown, C is 15. Okay, so do we feel comfortable on solving that one? Right, so we would go 9 squared, right, because that's a squared. In this case, b we don't know, right, so we'll just put in b squared. But we do know c this time, so a little different. 15 squared. Okay, 9 times 9 is 81. B squared, we don't know what that is. Not yet. And 15 squared is 15 times 15, which is 225. Okay. 225. All right, so then we're going to get rid of that 81, right? Because we just want to get that b by itself so we can solve for it, right? Subtract each side by 81. Okay, so then we just got b squared over here on the left. And on the right, we have 225 minus 81, which if we subtract that out, we get 144. Okay, so same as before, square root both sides. Get rid of that squared, because we're just solving for b. B equals, the square root of 144 is 12, right? 12 times 12 is 144. B is 12. There's our answer. And that is the video for Pythagorean Theorem. Hopefully it helped you out.